Hi, this is Mr. West, and today we're doing a tutorial video on ghostly figures, missing digits, all operations mixed, and this is version A. This, of course, is from mathdrills.com. Make sure to check out Math Drills. They have other Halloween worksheets available, as well as tons of other great math resources. I love them. I create a lot of videos for this channel. So let's go ahead and get started with this exercise. Number one, we have this addition problem. We know the sum, but we don't know the particular two add-ins in order to get there. So let's go ahead and figure this out. Well, first off, we see that 5 plus something equals 3. And there should be some red flags with that. So we know that it's not 5 plus like negative 2, for example. But really what we're talking about is we need to think about it in terms of 13. How do we go 5 plus something gives us 13? Because we're really concerned only with the second digit, that ones place of 13, and that's the way that we should be thinking of this. Okay, so that ones place is really what we're concerned with. Let's go ahead and see what we need to add to 15 and to 5 to get to 13, and that of course is going to be 8. So we're going to put an 8 there, and that will take us to 13. Now keep in mind that we'll have that extra 1 up there when we add that. So now we need to think to ourselves, 6 plus 1 plus something equals 8. And that's going to be, of course, just 1. So this tells us that 6 plus 1 plus 1 gives us 8. And then we're going to just move on to the next one, which is going to be 4. 4 plus 4 equals 8. So this is kind of a tough problem. You really have to think about this in a step-by-step process. If you just do it one digit at a time, starting with like the hundreds, for example, you're going to get a wrong answer because you're going to put a 2 here instead of starting with the ones, realizing that you're going to carry a 1 over from the 13. Okay, so really take it step by step, starting with the ones place. We'll do another one, and then we'll move on to some tougher problems. So we have something plus 6 equals 8. In this case, we can just put that 2 right in there, okay? Because we know it's not going to be anything bigger than that, and we can just move on to the next one without carrying anything. So this one again, 1 plus something equals 4. We can just go ahead and put 3. And then the last one, we just have this blank. So what do you put? Well, you're going to need to put a 5, okay? So we have 12 plus 536 equals 548. That one's pretty simple. Not all of them are going to be like that. There's also some long division. If you think about it this way, these are two numbers that multiply to get us the product inside here, okay? So if you're good with division, that's great. A lot of students aren't, so just think about these two numbers multiply to get that number on the inside. In this case, it's going to be 6. 11 times 6 equals 66. You got a scary claw right there. All right, moving on to, we already did some addition. Let's move on to some subtraction. Underneath this scary spider here, it looks like a black widow. I'm going to help it out. All right, there we go. Now it's a black widow. All right, so we have 2 minus 2, okay? So this one we can go ahead and do. No problems there. We get 0. All right, so now we know the result is 430. That might help us out a little bit. Okay, now we have something minus 1 equals 3. That's going to be 4. Okay, so we have 842 minus something equals 430. Then we just move on to the last one. We have 8 minus 4 equals 4. So all of these numbers on the top were equal to or greater than the numbers on the bottom. That makes it easy, but it's not always going to be like that, okay? So moving on to the next one, let's put some scary eyes there. All right, so we have something times 2 equals 14. Or 14 divided by 2, what does that equal? It equals 7. Okay, that one's a little bit easier. Oh, we have the reverse of division. We have multiplication, and this is the reverse of that problem. So we have 7 times something equals 14. That equals 2. That's a scary witch right there. Silhouette. Okay, and more division. I'll let you try this one. This one is something times 6 equals 54. You might want to check out your times table. That would be helpful. All right, let's check out this witch in number 10. So number 10, we have a complicated looking problem. We don't know any of the 3 of these numbers completely, but we know that 9 minus something equals 8. That's going to be 1. 9 minus 1 equals 8. Then we have something minus 1 equals 1. That's 2. 2 minus 1 equals 1. Here we get into some problems. 0 minus 2. Can't put negative 2 here. So really what we need to think here is we need to borrow. So whatever this is, we need to reduce it by 1 and then put a 1 here. Okay, so we need to put a 10. Pretend this is a 10 and then this is going to be 8. So really this is 818. Okay, in order to get that 1 there, we're just going to slide this over, okay? So this 1 is going to be here. And the reason why I know I'm borrowing from this 1 and moving it over here, okay, think about this. There's no number here, okay? That's blank, meaning we're not going to just drop down something. Like if we were to borrow from this, borrow from a 3 and put 2 so we can move that 1 over, there should have been a 2 here. So we can confirm that this, in fact, was a 1, because when we borrow, this goes to 0, and that's why there's nothing there, okay? So that's a way to double check. Another way to think of it is we just have this number 10 here. Just think of this problem right here. Something minus 2 equals 8. Well, that's just 10. 10 minus 2 equals 8. So we know it's a 1 for all 3 of those reasons. Kind of a tricky problem, but we can think of it that way, okay? So just think about which one works for you and then roll with it. Multiplication, you guys can do that. Let's do another subtraction problem and call it good, okay? These are all kind of tricky, but not impossible. So let's move on to this kind of another spider here, okay? Another black widow. You can go ahead and color it in. Makes it look cooler. All right. Something minus 1 equals 1. That one's 2, okay? So we got that. Now, we got 0 minus 3. Can't do that. So really, we're going to change this to a 4. And we're going to put 1, 0 to make it 10. So now we can put 7. But now we have another problem. 4 minus something equals 9. Can't do that. So we need to borrow from this one and make this 14. So now we know that 14 minus something equals 9. That's 5. Okay? Now, because we borrowed, we need to be careful here because we reduce whatever it is by 1. Okay? So now we're talking about the last, we borrowed something from here. But notice there's nothing written there. So that means this was a 1 right there. So we're going to go ahead and move that 1 over. Okay. And now it's 1,502 minus 531 equals 971. That's a way to double check. Those are kind of tricky, but just be careful. Take it step by step. If you need any more help with these problems, leave a comment. Let me know which question you need help with. But yeah, this can be tricky. And if you need another video, maybe I can follow up with a part 2 of this video. But if you want any other practice, make sure to check out mathdrills.com. I also have a lot of videos for Math Drills. Make sure to check those out. And I look forward to seeing you next time right here on West Explains Best. Happy Halloween.